correctly, but a lot of times they're actually using the TDSR calculation. Okay, so for example, when you key into the PA app or any of your application that you use, generally whatever that they have, the amount you can borrow for private, half of it can be only used for EC. Okay, that is the maximum. Okay, so MSR basically applies to the housing loans of all purchase of any government flats, whether it's HDB or executive condo that is bought directly from developer. Okay, so a maximum of 30% of a borrower's gross monthly income will go towards repaying all property loans. It is slightly different from TDSR because MSR is maximum 30% for all property loans. But TDSR takes into account other loans as well, not just property, which I will go through later. Okay, so for income profile, right, generally when you talk about income profile, if the combined income of the client is, let's say, maybe 5,000 and they're very young, they just graduated, just started their job. For 30 years, you can see on the top left-hand corner, they can only borrow 334,000. Okay, and if you take into account of ECs nowadays at 1.2 million, it only means they need to come up with about 900 to $1 million down payment. Okay, so you can actually either use the PA app that will give you a very safe or conservative figure for the loan amount for ECs, or you can actually refer to this table over here. Sorry, wait, is my mic having issue? Oh yeah, remember the record. Wow, lucky. Let me start the recording now. Hold on. Okay, so you can refer to the table as well. It's given normally in most of the four folds, especially Ola's four fold. You can see every single thing is there for you. I will send everybody a document later. We can actually take a look for an easy summary of ECs. Okay, you don't have to memorize this entire table at all. You don't have to memorize this entire table at all. Okay, so for payment schemes for executive condos, just exclusively for executive condos, we have the deferred payment scheme, the DPS. Okay, but for normal payment scheme NPS, more or less is exactly the same as the private new launch. Only executive condo will have deferred payment scheme. Okay, so only today I'll be going through on the normal payment scheme. Okay, you might want to prepare some pen and paper for some activity later that you'll have to start calculating lah. So NPS in a very simple nutshell, okay, it follows the progressive payment scheme that you learn in your RES exam. Okay, throughout the entire 3 years that the condo takes to build, you actually pay progressively starting from the day your client actually puts down that 5% check. Is there a lot of interruption for my mic? Can everyone still hear me? Cracking sound. Distorted. How about now? Is it still distorted? Maybe because I'm speaking too close to the mic. Okay, so basically you pay progressively during these 3 years from your OTP, the moment you put a 5% check to lock in the unit, all the way until TOP and CSC. That will make up for the entire 100% of the purchase price. Okay, so of course you can see the blue color bar, the one where it hits into half of foundation, because your first loan LTV is 75%. Okay, so only half of foundation will be the down payment. So it'll be OTP 5%, SMP 15%, and half of foundation 5%, giving you a total of 25% plus buyer stamp duty and your legal fees. Okay, then the rest will be your loan kick in if your client can get the full loan. But of course, at the end of the day, the most common issues of executive condo is that because we are subjected to MSR, okay, we generally face a problem where people can't actually take the full 75% loan. So I'll be going through with you a few methods later that we can actually do to try to minimize that shortfall over there. All right. Now, this entire timeline over here is just a general timeline. Okay, general it's not always like this, but in on average, it's always you will see this is more or less the common scenario. From the moment you put that 5% booking, the OTP, whether it's through by check or transfer or cashier order, etc. Okay, you have 1 week to actually submit all the documents. Okay, all the way until then after you just wait for HDB to approve, and then after that from approval within 3 weeks, developer will send SMT down to your law firm. Okay, then after that 2 weeks to pay buyer's stamp duty. I will not go through so much here because this one is under timeline. Okay, just know that this entire 9 weeks, right, is generally between from the 5% OTP that you put down all the way until the 15% when you exercise. Okay, generally for private it's about 8 weeks. Okay, EC is up to 9 weeks, or maybe sometimes if HDB is slow, maybe even more than 9 weeks. Or it can be very fast and maybe up to 6 weeks itself for the approval from HDB, depending. Okay. So of course, at the end of the day, the most perfect scenario when we talk about purchasing an EC, of course, end of the day is the 75% loan. Then all your CPF, everything is just nice. Okay, so we take, for example, if let's say a purchase price of $1 million, buyer stamp duty is 24.6, legal fee 3K. And you literally have just nice everything to make the payment sweet. Perfect. Okay, so you got 50,000 cash because 5,000 OTP must be in cash. And then your CPF OA, I put 250K to cover the buyer stamp duty and legal fees as well. And then, of course, the loan. So, of course, at the end of the day, this is the ideal situation that everybody wishes to have. Okay, but can seldom have lah. Okay, so the key factors that will actually affect such calculations, of course, will boils down to your CPF housing grants, your resale levy for second timers, and your bridging loan for second timers. Okay, so CPF housing grant, more or less, as long right now your clients, right, as long as they have combined income of below 10,000, they will get a 30,000 grant. Okay, if it's a SC SPR 20,000, and if it's just one first timer, one second timer 15,000, and so on, following everything. But actually, people will soon realize, right, for these housing grants, right, because EC's prices have always been on the rise, right? From last time where ECs were actually only 700, 800K, all the way to right now, you will see ECs now as high as 1.2, 1.3 million. Okay, if your client's combined income is below 10K, yes, you may get the 30,000 grant. But most of the time, if your combined income is below 10K, there will always be a shortfall to purchase the EC. Okay, because your combined income, your MSR, the loan is not very high. Okay, so always hope actually your client's income actually above the 10K lah, above 12K lah, so it's easier for the loan. You sacrifice a 30K grant, actually your profits at the end of the day still will overtake that one. Okay, so grants, right, if let's say you're eligible for the grants will be dispersed to CPF, to your client's CPF account before the 15%. Okay, before the 15%. I say again, from the moment you put the OTP, the 5% down, right, you will have to wait for HDB's approval, correct? After submitting all your documents. So after you submit all your documents and then HDB approve afterwards shortly, from the moment approval, right, within the next few weeks, your grant will already be dispersed into your client's CPF account, the grant. Okay, so it will be just in time for your 15% exercise. Okay, Ken? Resale levy. Okay, resale levy, if we take a look into, there's two charts. One is the older version, one is the newer version. Okay, we take a look into the newer version, which is the left side one that is sold on or after 3rd March 2006. Okay, so this one naturally don't really have to remember, but if you know, it'd be better so you can advise your client on the spot. Okay, so if they're upgrading from a 5-room flat to an EC, okay, they are liable to pay for 45,000 resale levy. If not, it's a single grant 22.5K. Okay, if not 4-room 40K, 3-room 30K, and so on. Now, actually, the key question here is that when will this resale levy be paid? Okay, but before I go into there, we take a look into the right side, the chart. Okay, so the right side, the chart is subsidized flat that is sold before 3rd March 2006. Now, it is a very rare case nowadays, but there are still cases that you will encounter, which is like this. Okay, so they actually sold their BTO before 3rd March 2006. Then after that, they went to buy a resale HDB. And finally, now they decide to buy an EC. Okay, so if their BTO, their subsidized flat is sold before the date, you'll be subjected to a percentage of the price that they sell for. And that price, that this kind of percentage is really, really heavy on clients. Okay, it really kills off every single thing, any hopes of actually purchasing the EC. Now, for resale levy that is subjected to the right chart, right, you can try to get your clients to appeal to HDB to convert to the left side scheme. The emphasis is here. You have to appeal to convert to the left side scheme. Okay, you have a chance of being able to appeal through. But if you were to get your client to appeal to waive off the resale levy, high confirm reject one. Confirm reject one. You must pay something. Just cannot pay nothing. Okay. Now, when resale levy will be paid? If let's say your first subsidized flat was disposed after taking possession of the second subsidized flat, your resale levy is deducted from the sale proceeds, auto deducted upon the sale of the first subsidized flat. Any shortfall will be paid in cash. Now, if let's say your subsidized flat was disposed before taking possession of the second subsidized flat, the resale levy will be paid in cash. Keyword is paid in cash upon taking possession of the second subsidized flat. So now if we input this information is from HDB website, by the way. So if we input this information into the timeline, okay, we would have this. Now, this is your HDB is sold before you take possession of the your second subsidized flat, which is your EC in this case. So it has to be paid before the S&P, okay, before your 15%. Okay, so the moment HDB approve already, right, you have to make payment for a resale levy. Okay, only after resale levy is paid, then developer will send an S&P to your law firm. If not, you won't even receive the S&P. Okay, now if your HDB is sold after taking possession of your EC, okay, it's upon TOP when you sell, you have 6 months to sell your HDB, etc. You sell your HDB already, it will be auto deducted from your sales proceeds of the HDB. Okay, I think everyone clear so far? Am I going too fast? There's a lot of static noise. Sorry lah, my earphone not very expensive one. I will get a better more expensive headphone next time. Because I got no other mic other than the one I'm wearing now, so I need to bear with me a while. Oops. Okay, then we move on. Okay. Now the fundamentals of EC financing there's actually 5 main rules. And the first one, of course, is a sequence of fund usage, the order of disbursements. Okay, for generally most of you have actually heard this before, is that when we talk about MAS ruling, right, you have to always follow the cash CPF loan rule. Always. Okay, that is the order disbursements that I will go through later. Now, the second pointer is that there will be no ABSD if you upgrade from a HDB to an EC. Okay, no ABSD at all. You don't. I have to pay the ABSD first, and then in order to claim back the ABSD after I sell off my HDB, I have to be on a 50-50 share with my wife. Okay. For HDB to EC, you don't even have to pay ABSD at all. Okay, you don't even have to pay ABSD at all. Now, point number 3, eligible for a max 75% LTV, even with an existing loan for HDB. Now, many people know that for the first property loan, the LTV, loan to value limit, will be 75%. Second one will be 45%. Okay. for this case, right, if you're upgrading from an HDB to an EC, even if your HDB has an outstanding loan, okay, your EC will still be subjected as a first property loan with a possible, you can get up to 75% loan to value limit. Okay, and point number 4, no requirement to set aside CPF for BRS, your basic retirement sum. Okay, even if CPF was used for current HDB. Okay, so one of CPF ruling is that if you touch CPF for your first property, there is a limitation for using CPF for your second property. Okay, but that normally applies if you're buying a private for your second. Because you're government to government housing, okay, there will not be any requirement to set aside any basic retirement sum. Okay, you are still allowed to maximize your OA for it. Okay, and of course, the one that I always emphasize on point number 5 is that we are subjected to mortgage servicing ratio. So there will be a slight difference in terms of calculations like pledging, unpledging, etc. The pledging and unpledging amount for EC and private, they're all different. Okay, it works differently, which I will go through later. Okay, moving on. Okay, so order of disbursements, right? Basically, in a very simple nutshell, for cash, all outstanding cash has to be settled first before CPF can be used for the payment. Because MAS has this ruling that the moment you touch $1 in your CPF, you have to account for everything. And when I say account for everything, I meant your loan must be settled by then. Okay, all your outstanding cash must be settled by then before you can touch CPF. Okay, if you don't touch CPF, then you don't need to settle your bank loan. You can slowly take your time to go and pay whichever progress, uh, whichever stage you're at. Okay, can so must always follow this disbursement, which I will give you an example later as well. Okay. Okay, so the entire purpose of the loan, right, is to tell CPF that I've secured a sum of money sufficient for the purchase of this flat. Then please release my CPF funds to pay for the flat. Okay, because CPF don't want you touching the money for the CPF, which actually can generate income. Then after that, you can't even afford the flat. You're overpaying for the flat. So you have to, your loan, everything have to be able to afford the flat. Then CPF will let you use the money. Okay, that is the general guideline. Okay, so to qualify it, right, actually, when you talk about this disbursement, for the cash portion, you must always find out how much cash they require to purchase this dream home based on their CPF OA amount that they have and the loan amount that they can take. Okay, so you can find out loan and find out the CPF amount. You are able to find out the amount of cash they require because that's just the balance of paying for the property purchase price. CPF is you have to find out how much CPF in their existing OA account, which I just mentioned. Loan is that before the buyer commits to purchasing a unit, they should do an IPA first. Now, IPA, for those who are new, IPA is non-obligated. There is no, it's not, you're not committed to the loan. Okay, IPA is just an indicative, in principle approval. It's just a indicator of how much you can borrow. Okay, there's no commitment level over there. It's just to assess how much loan they are eligible for. Alternatively, you can just use our own Propnex PA app. That is a conservative figure, or you can use the loan table that we have, the one that I showed earlier on from this session today. You can use that to estimate how much you can borrow. Okay, because end of the day, we as agents we're supposed to do a safe figure calculations for them in the first place. Okay, moving on. Okay, I'll show a few examples over here. Now, here I will go slower, okay, for everybody to actually catch up. Okay, my mic is noisy. Again, I have no choice. It's the only mic I have right now. I got no other mic. Okay, so just bear with me. Either way, this session is recorded with the screen will set the share later. Okay, I will go through all the questions later. Okay, hold on. Jimmy, I just made you the panel. The panel. Okay, moving on. I will go through the questions later. Example one, just take some time to actually read through the examples over here first. Okay. One age 28, one age 26. One earning 5,000, one earning 4,000. Okay, 150K in their CPF OA, looking to buy a 1 mil executive condo, assume legal fee 3,000. How much cash do they need? Okay, so if you actually refer to the PA app or the loan table, you should roughly get about 600K estimate. Normally, I will round down. Okay, so you should be getting 600K. For those who have yet to find out how to use the PA app, don't worry. I got give out a step-by-step basis on how to calculate using your PA app later. Okay, so more or less, actually, if you key into your whatever applications that you generally use, you will get around 600K. Okay, so you to find out the cash required, very simple. $1 million, you have to add in the buyer's stamp duty and legal fees. Okay, then you just minus the loan and CPF. That is the remaining amount you need. So in the timeline, right, you need to clear this $277,600 first before your 150K CPF will be dispersed to pay for a house. Then after that, the loan will take over. Okay, so by the time you touch the 150K, your loan of 600K must already be confirmed. You must have already signed the LO, letter of offer, with the banker. Then you must have already started have that 277K $600 set aside before the 150K will be dispersed according to the schedule later. Again, don't worry, later I also got do up one entire timeline with the exact figures over there to further explain for those who are lost already. Okay, moving on. Okay, this timeline over here, you can see, okay, from the normal timeline of normal payment scheme of your 5% all the way until CSC, follow the order of disbursement, cash, CPF, loan. You have to clear the cash 277,000 first before CPF come in, before loan come in. So whatever the amount that you have, it will just be split according to the normal payment schedule when you purchase the EC. Okay. Example two. Okay. Both age 38 want to buy 4-bedroom price at 1.3 million. They are eligible for a loan amount of 780,000 with a total of 195,000 in their CPF. Okay, take some time to actually do this question. This one is activity. Just give me the answer later. Okay. Once you have the answer, just put it in the chat. Okay, 364,600. 364,600. Okay lah. I think generally the majority all okay are following so far. Okay, yes, it's 364,600. Okay. Anyone didn't get 364,600? Right. I'm assuming no one already. Okay. Okay, for those who are new, sorry, for those who are experienced already, just bear with me. Okay, for those who are new, right, if you want to learn how to calculate the loan amount, okay, just go into your PA app. Okay, so when you enter your PA app, you will see all these icons over here. Okay, you can see obviously there's a calculator thing on the calculator icon on the top right, in the middle right, I suppose. Okay, click on the calculator, you will come to this page. Okay, when you come across to this page, just click on, you will see this thing called the TDSR MSR. Okay, TDSR MSR button. Okay, after you find the TDSR MSR button, just click on it. You will be directed to this page over here. Okay, so from here you can put up to 4 buyers name. Okay, just in case really you have a joint singles that have actually 4 friends want to buy an EC, okay, or any other property. Key in the monthly income, okay, and key in the age, and you just, and all the way at the bottom you just can calculate, you just click calculate and you will get the loan amount out. Now you will see that there is two, one is monthly income, one is other income. Okay, for agents like us, we are under other income. Other income is self-employed. Okay, so when you key in income into the other income, you will see the haircut there automatically calculated for you. Okay, so we do fully employed first. Fully employed, if I key in random figures, maybe 10,000, 6,000 for the two buyers, couple, age 28, age 28. Then after I click calculate, you scroll all the way to the bottom, you roughly see this. Okay, how much you can borrow for private, how much you can borrow for EC, how much for a HDB resale. Now, do take note, generally, I've already realized it before, PA app gives a very conservative figure. Okay, I mean, it's not very, but it is generally when you go to a banker to do an IPA, they will always give an amount higher than that, than what is stated here. Okay, so you can always use the figure here as a conservative calculations for your clients. Okay, and naturally, because I want to make calculations easier for myself, I will still continue to round down some more. So for here, I'll probably take 1060 or 1065. Okay, for an EC. Now, self-employed, basically, I key into other income. You will notice haircut automatically calculated at 7K. Okay, and then again, you click calculate, you will get the amount over here as well. You can see, it's a very big difference. Okay, you will realize that for the other income, I'm keying in the exact same figures for fully employed. Fully employed 16K, both age 28. Self-employed 16K, both age 28. And you will see from just now previously a $1 million EC loan. Okay, now I drop all the way to 750K. It's about a 300K difference. Okay, so you must always clarify your clients if they are self-employed or if they are fully employed. Okay, there will even be cases where they are actually a mixture of both employed and fully employed. Okay, meaning to say I am getting a base pay, a basic pay, and I am also getting commission base. Okay, commission, basic pay with commission. So you have to key in, if let's say for example my basic pay is 2,000, monthly income I have to put in 2,000. If my commission is 10,000, other income I have to put in 10,000. Okay, so total technically is 12,000, but then they help you calculate properly. There will be a mixture one. Okay, you don't go and choose what you put in. Everything all must put in. Okay. Oh yes. Okay, sorry, this slide my order a bit wrong. This one go through later. Okay. If not, actually, never mind, I also can go through now. Okay, basically, when you go back to your calculator page, right, alternatively, instead of doing the manual calculation, okay, normally for me, I love to do manual calculation, okay, because when I do manual calculation, normally to me, I get to impress my clients, okay, they were like, wow, everything can calculate on the spot, okay, but of course, at the end of the day, if you prefer to use the app one, you can also do so. Under the buyer's affordability calculator, there is this icon called the progressive payment. Okay, the progressive payment itself, okay, progressive payment itself will give you every single thing you need to know. So if you click on progressive payment, sorry, you will come here. Okay, all you have to do is key in, very straightforward one. Key in the purchase price condo, the purchase price of the condo, the loan tenure. Okay, loan tenure you can get from just now the TDSR MSR. Okay, then you will know how much amount you can borrow as well. Okay, then just you see the first year, second year, third year, fourth year. That is the interest rate. So generally now in our current market, we're now about 1.2 to 1.3%. Okay, so just key in, then click calculate, and they will tell you literally from stage one, booking fee 5%, 60K. all the way to stage 2, to stage 3, and so on. Stage 4, stage 5, stage 6, stage 7, stage 8. Okay, and then they give you all the disbursement amount. On top of that, if you were to scroll all the way to the right, right? Scroll all the way to the right, they will give you, based on the interest rate that you key in, the monthly estimated payment at each stage of the normal payment scheme. Okay, so my left side got a little bit cut off from all the zero over there. That is the estimated interest that you're paying for. So everything is very straightforward and detailed. You can just one shot like that show to your clients or share to your clients, because if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there is a share button for you to share through WhatsApp, PDF document, etc. And your agent details at the bottom will also be shown as well. So everything is really top-notch technology over here. Okay, moving on. Okay, when people always encounter shortfall, right, there are of course a few ways to actually minimize that shortfall or make up for that shortfall. And one of the most standard ways, of course, will be pledging and unpledging. Okay, the only thing to take note over here is that the calculation will be slightly different from your private, because that is TDSR side. Okay, so what is pledging? Pledging is basically liquid assets that are pledged with the bank. And these liquid assets have to be with the same bank that you're obtaining your mortgage loan from, or basically your property loan. So basically, if I'm taking a property loan from OCBC, I have to pledge my assets with OCBC. And I have to lock in with them for a minimum of 4 years or 48 months, so to say. Okay. Unpledging itself, or another term of unpledging, is show funds. If the liquid assets are unpledged, the liquid assets have to be with the same bank they're obtaining the loan from. Again, same thing. If I'm taking the loan from OCBC, I have to show funds to OCBC to unpledge. Okay, and I have to show them twice. The key thing about unpledging is that you show them twice. One, during loan application. Second, during loan disbursement, before loan disbursement. Okay, meaning to say, if I were to borrow 200K from my mom to show during loan application to unpledge, right? After that, I can return my money to my mother, or I can spend the money, etc. As long by the time loan disbursement, I have the same amount back to show to the bank, it's fine. Okay, it's totally fine. Because at the end of the day, when loan application and loan disbursement is generally quite a big time frame apart. I mean, if it's just a normal timeline, you probably maybe a few months. But if let's say, just now I saw in the chat, somebody asked if one person want to use just cash and CPF. But what if they only want to use like maybe the TOP and CSC, that portion, 40%, the last 40% as loan. So starting all the way until the first 60% is all cash and CPF, ma. So your loan disbursement is all the way until maybe about close to 3 years later. Okay, so you can go and like spend the money or this, as long as at the end of the day, 3 years later when the loan dispersed, you show them the funds one more time can already. Okay, that is the thing to take note for unpledging. For pledging itself, don't quote me, okay, but there is also a way to actually get out of these 4 years. Okay, so generally, when if let's say I want to put I want to pledge maybe 200K. Okay, then this 200K stuck inside the bank for 4 years, and then after I become very cash strained. Okay, normally when you take a property loan, right, you the lock in is about 2 years, ma. Sometimes 1 year, sometimes 2 years, or maybe sometimes you go for the fixed 3 year plan. Either way, right, after that lock in, you refinance to another bank. Normally, these 4 years they'll be forgotten off. Normally. Again, my keyword emphasis here is refinance, not repricing. Repricing is you go back to the same bank, they will still have your record there one. So that one is bo chao. Okay, refinance. Okay, refinance to another bank. Okay, moving on. An example of it is that this is an example of how you actually do pledging and unpledging using MSR. Okay, so Caleb, you take some time to actually read through here as well. Okay, both one age 40, one age 38, drawing fixed salary of 4K and 10K respectively. Right? First 1.5 million, taking up a 75% loan. Okay, so if you were to key these figures, right, into the TDSR, MSR, the pay app, okay, you are able to find out the loan they can borrow for this first property at 1.5 million. Okay, now if you go into the mortgage loan, you will see a mortgage loan calculator at the calculator section as well. You can figure out the monthly installment is about 5052. I got my 5052 from the PA app mortgage loan calculator. Okay, so basically for a monthly installment of 5052, at this point of time, for Caleb and Claire, the maximum that MSR allows is that only 30% of their 14K salary can be used to pay for property loans, correct? Okay, so which only amounts to $4,200. Okay, maximum $4,200 can only pay for the property. But right now, their property needs 5K, 5052. At this current juncture, they cannot this property. Okay, so this is where pledging and unpledging comes into play. Where is my? Okay, so again, to emphasize, mortgage loan, you see mortgage loan over there, you key in 1.5 million. For pledging, unpledging, right, bankers, you cannot adjust the interest rate. You cannot adjust the interest rate. Bankers will always base on a standard market 3.5% with a 30 years tenure to calculate your pledging, unpledging amount one. Okay, so you must always be based on this. Okay, I've already double confirmed with UOB bankers yesterday. So always be based on a standard interest rate 3.5% with a 30 years tenure. Even if you cannot 30 years tenure, the calculation for pledging and unpledging will be based on these figures here. Okay. So based on that previous slide, right? Based on the previous slide, they can choose to pledge the cash with the bank to qualify for the mortgage loan. And how do we actually find out is that we have to find out how much more they have to earn. Sorry, like I said just now was a mistake. Private property is I'm sure I put EC over there. Okay, that one is EC. Ah, okay, for Richard, to answer Richard's question, that one was a mistake. I should have put EC. Okay, so income shortfall. Okay, you take the 5052 that you need to deduct the $4,200 away. So I'm actually short of maybe $852. Okay, $852 based on MSR. I actually need to earn another 2840 combined on top of my 14,000 income. Okay, so technically that is 16,840 lah. 16,840, yeah, correct, 16,840. Okay, but summarize, to pledge the amount, I just take 2840 times 48 months, which is 4 years. I need to pledge $136,320 to be able to afford this $1.5 million property. Okay. If they want to do unpledging, you just divide it again by another 0.3. You need to unpledge or show funds 454K, $400. Now, this is a formula. Okay, there is no MSR 30%. That's why they're dividing it by 0.3. Okay, if you ask me why 0.3, then I don't know how to further simplify it because this is a formula already. Okay, so again, need to show the bank ties during loan application and loan disbursement. Everyone okay so far? Is it too confusing? Or is my explanation okay? Can you understand? Everyone following so far, help me put 1 into the chat, please. Hey. Thank you. I think I use Zaima, you get a free coffee from me when you meet me next time. Okay, I will move on. Okay. Basically, for self-employed, now I'll be touching on for self-employed. Okay, self-employed is the most troublesome one. Okay, because people like us agents, we always get our income cut for no bloody reason, but no choice. Okay, so personal loan, property loan, everything all tougher to get. Okay, so basically for self-employed, right? Just a brief introduction. If let's say I have a guy who's self-employed, he's earning $10,000 a month. His accessible income for his loan application will only be based on $7,000 a month. Now, Again, this is where I meet a lot of agents who are really unsure about this. Now, I'm not talking about the fact that they are earning 30% cut 7,000. It's the fact that they actually know whether their client is actually qualified to purchase an EC. Okay, so when you look into the case study here, it's always a bit blur because this picture is again taken online. But basically, if you're having an average income of $9,000, self-employed, okay, your loan repayment is 1,500. Okay, you have to take the $9,000 minus the 30% salary reduction. You are still within MSR. This is how you actually calculate MSR calculation for self-employed. Okay, it's again a standard formula. Okay, but the case study over here that I always encounter across EC scenarios, right, is that this John and Sarah have a combined income of $18,000 a month, both age 28. Now you assume both that they're earning $9,000 a month, okay, and they're self-employed. They like to purchase an EC with a price of 1050, 1050, yeah, 1,050,000. How much can they loan? Can they buy an EC? Can all of you work out a very quick one over here, please? Let's assume cash CPF all they have. No down payment. Can they buy? Yes, June. I'll be doing something to my mic after this session. I can only do it after this session. Paiseh. Why cannot buy? 16K cap. But after the 30% reduction is already less than 16K, ma? So can buy or cannot buy? Right? Because both are self-employed. They are self-employed. After 30% deduction, it will be less than 16K, ma? So it can buy or cannot buy? This is the scenario that a lot of people don't know. Okay? The answer is cannot buy. Okay? The answer is cannot buy. Because HDB ruling and loan ruling are two different things. HDB ruling is that the income ceiling is 16,000. Even as a self-employed, you are subjected to a 16,000 income ceiling before the 30% cut. But this 30% cut is a bank ruling, your own loan ruling, nothing to do with HDB. Okay, so my application for the EC will be based on my salary without the haircut, but my loan will still have a haircut afterwards. Okay, this is very, very important, and you will always come across this situation when you meet your clients or you are a tagger and you meet your agents. Okay, can must remember cannot buy because subjected to salary is subject HDB ruling is subjected to salary before haircut. Loan is subjected to salary after haircut. Okay, moving on. Okay, so you cannot buy. Okay, activity. Okay, getting more and more exciting and yet boring at the same time. Take some time to read through this question here again as well. A bit too much words. I lazy to speak out already. Take out all your pen and paper. Start working out already. Start working out already. Find out how much cash is needed. You can use whatever apps you want. You want to do manual calculation, all is fine with me. As long as you get the correct answer at the end of the day. And by the way, guys, you all know there is a Q&A category where you can put your questions in, right? Because if you put inside the chat, chances is it will get drowned out by other people who are talking inside. So you might want to go and key in your questions in the Q&A so me and my panelists all can answer later. Bridging loan is only applicable for DPS, Deferred Payment Scheme. For Gary Chong, bridging loan is only applicable for Deferred Payment Scheme. For Gracelyn, HDB ruling is subjected to the 16K income ceiling without the haircut. Okay. Bank for loan purposes is after haircut. Basically, for self-employed, income before haircut is see it for your HDB income ceiling. After the HDB approval, you take loan is after haircut. Can, Gracelyn? I have 0 answers on my question so far. Is no one calculating for me? When using pay app mortgage calculator, do we put the interest at 3.5%? Okay, you only put, for Justin's question, you only put the interest as 3.5% only if you are calculating pledging and unpledging. Okay, as long as you are not calculating pledging and unpledging, you just want to calculate how much a typical client has to be paid back to the loan for this purchase of the property. I will use current market rate, which is maybe 1.2, or you want to put safe figure 1.3%. Sometimes you can put 1.5% to be the safest. Does that answer your question, Justin? Yes, they're buying EC. They're buying EC. Yes, I will get the recording out after this session. I will send the slides plus the recorded slides. I will send everything. So don't worry, James. I know my mic a bit jialat lah. I should have prepared beforehand. Sorry. Isaac 251600. I think is the correct answer lah, but I can't remember now because the moment I click the slide, all the answer come out already. So I'll wait for everybody to calculate first. Just go through. I need more answers to come out first from the calculation. If not, I will not give you answers. Let me see if I missed out any questions. Why only EC has DPS for Tiffany Low? Why? HDB decided so. Because at the end of the day, EC and HDB all under HDB's ruling ma. So they know that the moment you go for, even if you pay later or pay now, they want it to make it like a smooth transition. So you don't have to rent property outside first. You can like stay in your HDB even though most of your money stuck inside HDB ma. So you buy the EC, not enough money cover. They will still let you to pay later first. Because at the end of the day, when you get your EC, you're still under HDB ruling and you still have to sell HDB. So they allow a more flexible payment scheme. That's why it's only for HDB to EC exclusively. What if buyer no need take loan? Just use cash and CPF. Bell done. Okay. If loan, then you can just do. You can just continue to pay whatever, whenever, because your law firm will always ask for them. The moment the developer reach a particular stage, maybe car park, they will ask for 5%. So they ask for 5%, you just pay the cash or CPF law. But the moment you touch CPF, you must be able to pay CPF all the way already. You just remember the order disbursement, cash, CPF loan. Okay, you can pay the full house cash and CPF also cannot. Okay, just need to take note, must be cash first, then CPF. Will the recording link expire? Not that I know of. Everything will expire. How about 2 jobs? Can combine 2 jobs income? Yes, you can combine 2 jobs income. Okay, but this one best to verify with the banker because it depends on what kind of these 2 jobs income they are. Okay, depend on what kind of 2 jobs income. If it's like one is like what part time or this kind of thing, I doubt so lah. Okay, but if it's a 2 fully employed job, I think should be able to go through. Yeah, I think definitely will go through. After loan disbursement, yes. For Melvin Sim, after loan disbursement, there is no need for the unpledging amount anymore. Okay, so after the loan disbursement, they loan you, you can go and spend money. After the second time you show the money, no problem at all. You see, now I start to see everybody getting. Yes, Nick, if you can just help me add on, because I scared I keep missing out.
No, I wanted to help you add on the deferred payment scheme one. Someone asked why only EC got deferred payment scheme, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. So well, you're still working on his equation there, right? Okay, so just one more explanation why EC has deferred payment scheme and not private. Okay, the main reason because when you're purchasing an EC, you have to sign a form by HDB which says that you must sell your HDB. So meaning to say it's an undertaking to sell your HDB. That's why there is deferred payment scheme. But another thing I want to take note is why deferred payment scheme has to be taken with a bridge, as in when you have a HDB and you want to buy EC under deferred payment scheme, you usually take a bridging loan because HDB to HDB you can contra. But from HDB to EC, you cannot contra because end day your EC is a private property. Okay, it will become a private property. So it has to be a bank loan. So that's why you have to take bridging loan from the bank also. So the bank recognizes the value of your HDB and loan you first. Then ultimately, when you sell HDB, then you just repay the bank that value that they loan you. So that's why I got deferred payment scheme because you sign undertaking to sell HDB. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Nick, for the explanation. I hope that clarifies your question for Tiffany. Okay. Now, okay, basically back to the question. I got a lot of question left. So I tell you, don't try now. You still have to try again later on. 251.6. I see quite a number. Got 251.6. Okay. I got quite a number of people 448.6 or so. Okay, so we go through the most important information first is that both are age 30, wants to buy 4 bedroom at 1.6 million. Again, sorry, I should have put EC over there. Both earning 9,000 and 3,000 respectively. They have a total of 200,000 in their CPF OA. And they own an executive apartment valued at 600,000. Okay, with an outstanding loan of 100,000. Now, work out the entire timeline below based on normal payment scheme, assuming they choose to sell the HDB first. At valuation price. Again, sorry, my English sometimes a bit clear. Okay, at valuation price. Now, assume only 100K is cash proceeds from the sale. Okay, find out how much cash is needed. So if we take a look into the price 1.6 million, we can get the stamp fees already, 48.6K. Okay, lawyer fees, I already said assume 3K. Loan amount, if you key into the app and I round it down, okay, it should be around 800K as well. Okay, so now what do you need? What I normally do for my clients, right? When I have all this information already, I have their CPF, I have their HDB valuation, I have the price they want they're aiming for to purchase in the EC. Okay, I can work out the entire timeline. Okay, so when I work out the entire timeline, it will look something like this. Now, you don't really have to always follow my method. At the end of the day, if you get answer, you can just take your own method. There's no issue at all. But I like to do is always draw out. I will take a piece of paper. I will draw out this entire normal payment scheme. That's the first and foremost. And if I know the purchase price is 1.6 million, I will key in the figures above on the piece of paper to literally show client exactly where they at which stage they need to pay what, at what stage they need to pay what. So you will see at 15%, I have a 240,000 plus 51.6. 51.6, of course, that will be where my buyer's stamp duty and lawyer fee comes in. Remember, 48.6 is the buyer's stamp duty, 3K is the lawyer fee. Okay, then after that, followed by foundation, concrete, brick wall, ceiling, all these to add up into your $1.6 million. Cool. Okay, so now we know that the loan is also 800,000 based from the app or the loan table or whatever app you're using. Okay, I round down to 800,000. So we have to follow, remember, the key thing I keep emphasizing is we have to follow the exact order of disbursements, which is cash, CPF, and loan. So of course, in order to find out how much cash we have to work from backwards. So 800K loan, my CSC, I need 240K, will be covered by loan. Correct? I'm left, my TOP, 25% 400K, covered by loan. Correct? So I've already used up 640K. I'm left with 160K loan. Will be covered by drains, car park, doors, and window. Okay? Then I use up all my entire 800K loan already, ma. Now this is where CPF comes in. Now previously I mentioned I got a 200K CPF, okay, which will be covered by CPF. Then also my, I forgot my HDB price how much it is. Let me hold on, Brad, hold on. 600K, 600K, 100K outstanding. Okay. Sorry. Let me go back. Okay, so 600K, right? 600K for my HDB, I minus the 100K outstanding loan is 500K. 500K, when I say assume cash proceed 100K, which means my CPF is about 400K lah. Okay, 400K plus the 400K for my sales proceeds from the HDB back to CPF. Then of course, you plus the 200K in my current OA, already 600K. So more or less, you know that at the end of the day, all my behind here all can cover by CPF. Okay, until you reach the 15%, right? 320 plus 160, 480, 480 plus 120K will be your 600K CPF. Okay, 600K CPF, of course, at the end of the day, used up already. Then that is where I move on to my cash, which is over here, right? And plus the 5%. So you add them up together, you should be getting 251.6K. Okay, the answer is 25. Nobody can see the timeline. You all cannot see the timeline I'm drawing, man. Can you all see the animation that's coming up? Cannot. No. I'm not writing on it. Perfect, bro. Raida Haji, I totally forgot about my resale levy. Objective here to see whether you all remember about resale levy. Okay, so please please add on the resale levy. Okay, yes, okay. I know there's a lot of miscellaneous fees around. So, okay, at the end of the day, if your calculation is because it's only, okay, if let's say your calculation amount is only different because you accounted for all the miscellaneous fees like legal fee of selling HDB, the agent fee, resale levy, then you at least you know you're on the right path. But for the rest who didn't get the answer not because of all these miscellaneous fees, you need to voice out lah. Okay, but for those who accounted for all these miscellaneous fees, that's why you get the wrong answer, then okay, not wrong answer, then you get a different answer. It's fine. At least you know that you are on the right track. Yeah, good. Resale levy. So even if you add in resale levy, is still less than 300 lah. How did you all get 400 plus actually? I see quite a number of 400 plus. 448 600, 446 400. Okay. Okay. So anyone don't understand this entire timeline so far? You understand the figures that come out? Yes, resale levy must account for it inside also. So actually you just plus the resale levy inside. Can everyone understand how we put one inside? Because it's quite important that you all understand the logic and rationale behind this calculation over here. Yeah. This is assuming they sell their flat. I already put in the question, assume they sell their flat first. Because the thing is, if they don't sell the flat, it will be under DPS, which I am not supposed to go through DPS. That's why I never do based on that scenario. This is by right, yes, a DPS question where you need to calculate bridging loan, etc. But I decided to remove it. Resale levy for executive apartment is 50K. Yes, correct. It's $50,000. Okay. Unless you're talking about EC, then it's 55. Okay, moving on then. Example 5. Yeah, now this is a pledging, unpledging question. Okay, take some time to look through it again. Then I want you to tell me the amount they need to pledge and unpledge to achieve the maximum 75% LTV. Go through the question. Stephen Ng, bridging loan is not applicable to NPS. It's only applicable to DPS. Okay, it's only applicable to deferred payment scheme. Ben Weng, pledging, yes, it's just no, pledging is not shown to the bank only. Unpledging is shown to the bank. Pledging, you need to lock in the money into a fixed deposit account with the bank. Your fixed deposit account maybe will earn interest every year. So your money cannot touch at all. The moment you pledge that 200K, for example, 200K, your 200K is stuck inside the bank for 4 years. By right lah. Okay. Resale levy also considered as cash. Yes, correct. So actually, the just now I should have added in the resale levy amount as part of the cash that I require. You are right. For Beltan, regarding your question using cash and CPF, no loan, what does buyer need in order to use the CPF since no loan is needed? Actually, you don't need anything. I mean, you need to have the cash ready, the CPF ready to advise, but other than that, you don't need anything. Because if it's for your case, right, it's very simple. The moment you put that 5% cash down, right, the check down, right, then you just do as per normal, you exercise, etc. Every single time developer calls for the next payment, you just pass the check to them, can already, the check of cash or cashier order or the cash, or if not, you doing by CPF, then the law firm will help you go and deduct from the CPF already, straight. Then you just CPF all the way already. You don't really need to prepare anything. I don't say documentation confirm it, but you don't have to prepare anything of sort that you really need to go out of your way from, other than your standard documents. Yes. Okay. In order to use, yeah, that's why the thing is, if you're going to use CPF to touch the funds in CPF for Beltan, then you must be backed by the loan. Correct. So everything adds up to the property purchase price. But if you don't plan to use the loan, right, if your CPF and cash has enough amount to clear the entire property purchase, then you don't need the loan already. But you must show CPF that you have the cash and CPF to actually already settle everything. Why is bridging loan not applicable to NPS? As far as I know, it's just a standard ruling from banks. Because the thing is, deferred is you need to sign the undertaking to sell HDB by then. So 6 months before DPS, 6 months before TOP for DPS, right? You straight away apply for bridging loan already. What if this EA is bought from resale market without taking any housing grant? Does resale levy apply? For Jimmy, right? Jimmy Pay. Okay. There will not be any resale levy. If resale the EA is bought from resale market without any grant. The keyword is without any grant. Resale levy will not apply. But if they have bought a BTO before this EA, then the resale levy will be based on their BTO instead. For unis, if buyer is above 55 years old, have to set aside BRS when buying EC. No need, no need to set aside. No, 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 no. You don't have to show developer you got a cash and CPF. You don't have to show developer. Developer don't care whether you got a cash or no CPF. Because end of the day, if you don't have the money, you just bounce back out to get a higher price. You don't have to show developer. It's CPF. It's show CPF. Only CPF will care. Samuel, I'll get back to you again once I click the next slide. All the answer come out. So I also can't remember the answer now. Yes, Stefan, bank will not give the bridging loan. The bridging loan, one of the requirement is that you have to be deferred payment scheme. You NPS can't apply for deferred for bridging loan. Sorry. $43K and 145,600. Anyone else got the pledging, unpledging? Pledging 145,600. Up for it, 333. Okay. Yes, Junsua is correct. The CP for whatever part you're using, the CPF will lock in the next stage payment, lock in the amount. Will lock in the amount. Everyone done the calculations already? Pledging formula slide can show again. Okay. Hold on. Andy? Because I separated into two slides. You want the first slide or this one which I'm at right now? Okay, can. 373K. Okay, I will just the rest all stop trying already. Only got like a few answers. Okay, if not, I will move on. No problem, no problem. What? Like that, don't need to reply me. If you driving, don't even reply me, please. Just drive safely, can already. Okay, so again, just now the loan was 730K. Okay, you just to find out the pledging and unpledging amount. Of course, I need to find out shortfall first. Yes. Where is Tony? Okay, so in order to find out pledging and unpledging, I need to find out the shortfall amount. Okay, so I already said they have the 5% cash. Okay, so this one is guaranteed. First thing, of course, I do out the amount again, like what I did previously. Purchase price, everything, put in the amount here first. Okay, so I will know that my 730K is all loan all the way until where? Okay, until here, right? I have the 5% cash on hand. Okay, already have. Okay, CPF also I do until I have no more, until I have shortfall. Can everyone following so far? Oh. To see. Okay, so you already know the shortfall already. You can see foundation is 62.5K shortfall. The other 62.5 you plus the 187.5 is the your 284K 600 the CPF lah. Okay, you need add in the buyer's stamp duty, lawyer fee. Okay, the shortfall amount basically you add up together 207.5. I'm pledging divided by 3692. Okay, my this answer is definitely wrong. This is my old slides already. 485 is the correct one. The one that you all put just now. The one for 145, 600, and 485, 333. That is the correct answer. Okay, this one is the correct one. Sorry, because this one previously was on a private question, so I just did based on private calculation. I didn't change it. Okay, so actually the correct answer for the EC one, right, is this one over here. Okay, later I will do out the calculation properly, the exact calculation for this to get this amount over here, this pledging, unpledging. Then I will send it. So sorry about that. But those who got 145, 145, 999, 145, 600, that one is the correct one. With the 485, 333, that is the correct one. Okay, you're supposed to use the exact calculation just now. Use the income shortfall, income shortfall for the MSR and calculate it based on that. Okay, that will you get this amount over here. Okay, can? Okay, if not, I'll move on. Now, next example. A couple walks into the show flat and you are the serving agent. They are looking for a $1.2 million EC unit. You found out that they have 160K cash and 200K CPF in their current OA account. Their combined gross income is about 12K, self-employed 31. Can they buy this unit? If they cannot buy, why? If they can buy, why? I need everyone to put inside the chat later. How? Can buy, cannot buy, can buy, cannot buy. Why? From the survey, can buy cause income, okay, but I need to find the accounting only any private. Assume don't have, like, assume don't have. I just want to know based on their income, but they're self-employed. They're self-employed. So can they afford the EC? You technically have your, based on whatever information on that slide, you technically can find out their loan, cash, CPF, already, mah? Can within the ceiling, but do they have enough to buy? Yes, they are eligible. Well, what you're telling me is they're eligible to buy. But what now I want to know is whether they can buy with the amount they have. Okay, so cannot buy, right? How much is the shortfall? How much is the shortfall? You will see shortfall to about 280, 278K. Okay, so this shortfall over here, what are the ways to minimize this shortfall? Other than pledging, unpledging, what are the other ways? They need more cash, yes, correct. But how do they get more cash? Okay, because yes, okay, borrow from parents. Whether you borrow from parents, borrow from friends, okay, just the recent Park Greenwich, I got two of them is all borrow. Okay, again, don't quote me, and I'm not sure whether there's any Greenwich people over here. Park Greenwich, I had two cases, right? Both are friends. One person borrowed from the other party to make payment for to go and unpledge, borrow from the friend to unpledge for his own property. After finish unpledge already, he returned the money to the other party. The second case, the other party to go and unpledge also. Then this time he lent his own money. They swap each other's money. Okay, it's possible one. So every single time you come across cases where you have a shortfall, Okay, and the shortfall you see actually maybe 200 plus K is a bit overboard, but if you see the shortfall maybe it's like 80K to 150K, try to find ways that they can go about it to actually help them proceed with the purchase. Okay, don't just give up there. Pledging, unpledging is just one of the most common methods. Borrowing is fine as well. Of course, if you're a second timer, there's also bridging loan. Okay, what other ways? There's actually a lot of buy left. Okay, don't say buy left. There's a lot of buy right things that you can do. There are a lot of other creative methods you can do. Okay. I'll give you another hint. For example, you can actually take a personal loan. You can take a personal loan to actually cover the shortfall if they are really dying to buy the property. Okay, you can take a personal loan. Okay. Can there is just the purpose of this question. Just don't want you to go and anyhow shut out cases that just because they based on simple information, basic information that you guys have, then because of that shortfall, you straight away stop there and say they cannot afford. Personal loan actually quite fast actually. As long as that personal loan is really damn fast one. Personal loan, I think also about 1 week you can settle it already. But actually, end of the day, it depends on the banker whether they want to rush the case for you or not. For Winnie. But the thing is, people don't really recommend personal loan is because the interest rate is pretty different from property loan. Like property loan is 1 point something percent. A personal loan can go up to 3%, 4%. Okay, just take note of that. Just a little bit of something. Yes, it will affect TDS as what? No, 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 no. Property loan is property loan. It will not affect the loan to value limit because the EC is based on MSR. MSR is max 30%. Max 30% of your income can be used to pay loans. Pay the property loan. But to Janet question affect TDSR, it will. But because that's TDSR side. Right now we're talking about EC side. No, because EC is MSR not TDSR I actually use this method to did for my property purchase, by the way. I didn't take personal loan. I took a term loan out of something else. Okay, so to make the down payment. So essentially, my property is 100% loan in a way. But the repayment, of course, if you can afford, then just go ahead. Personal loan not part, which may cost the loan amount lesser than MSR calculation. No, but MSR calculation is only MSR is maximum 30% of your income can be used to pay property loans. It does not take into account other things. Your TDSR is take into account other loans as well. That's why TDSR is affected. Yes, by right, Alex, actually you should be, because if let's say you really stretch, for Alex question, if you really stretch their cash and CPF to the maximum already, then they still don't have enough for stamp duty and legal fees. You should actually add the amount into pledge, unpledged, so you can free up some current cash and CPF for their stamp duty and lawyer fees. Okay, I will move on. Okay, so they cannot buy this EC unit, but of course, if you got shortfall, then you share the 200 plus K, you must add in the CPF, must buy some duty and lawyer fee, you should get 315,600 lah. Okay, so they can buy, they can borrow. Okay, must borrow. Okay, next one. I realize there's a repeat. Okay, so basically for here, I will be sending this document later. Okay, this one basically has a summary of everything you need to know on eligibility check, first timer grant, second timer resale levy, every single thing you need to know over here. Okay, it's just basically a short summary. Just take it and take this as your simple Bible lah. Okay, I've already actually reached the end. You got any questions you all can ask now. I will give out the calculations later for the previous pledging and unpledging question because that one was my old slide. So I need to go and adjust the calculation. I will do all the calculation and pass it to you guys in the chat later, along with the document just now. Okay, does anyone else have any questions roughly when will DPS session be? Oh, I forgot. You asked me check now. I can't see the date. My phone is being used to show my face. Later, I will send you the whole schedule also. This Wednesday, this Wednesday. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Alex. Okay. Any other question on calculation for normal payment scheme? I strongly believe no question is a stupid question. So you can ask any question you want. All the weird scenario you think will happen or never happen, just come out. Please move back 2 slides. Okay, go back 2 slides. This one is fully employed. You see this one previously, this is self-employed. Self-employed, fully employed. Okay, that's why you see the amount is different. Wait, the previous one. Okay. This one? The fully employed one or self-employed one? Got them both. Okay, okay. Okay, Josephine asked buyer stamp duty need to come out example 4 again, please. I should go example 4 first. Example 4 as in you want the calculation here or you want the question? Question, okay. Okay, so while answering, to answer Josephine's question, right? Buyer stamp duty need to come out cash first if CPF is sufficient. This one depends because some law firms they do allow to accept buyer stamp duty in the form of CPF payment. Okay, you need to check with the law firm first whether they allow the buyer stamp duty to be paid using the CPF. But by right, you can pay by CPF one.
Bro, for new launch BUC, right? Can use CPF directly.
Can use CPF directly, right?
For BUC only.
Okay, so no need to come out cash first. You can pay CPF using CPF. Just now you said TDSR take into consideration existing loan, but won't affect MSR. For Eunice's question, it won't affect MSR. MSR means 30% maximum of your income can be used to pay property loan. But TDSR is 60% of your income can be used to pay loans. TDSR is 60% used to pay loans, all loans. But MSR is only property loan. Felicia, stamp duty fee, is it you can use CPF, is it for EC? No. For BUs, as long as it's a built under construction, whether it's a private new launch or EC new launch, you can already use CPF for buyer stamp for stamp duty. Sorry. New ruling already. 55% TDSR, not 60%. Sorry. 55%. Susie can show example 5. Question or calculation? Oh, calculation slide. Sorry. I didn't see that. Calculation slide. This calculation slide again, the pledging, unpledging. If you do the method that I show you just now, okay, the one use the income shortfall, you should be getting this amount in red. Okay, which I will do in the calculation later. I will also send it in the slide later. For those who got no questions, okay, I hope today was quite clear. If not clear, please come and WhatsApp me personally and scold me, then I can reflect. Then I'll do a better time next time. Okay, if you all don't understand, okay, feel free to also ask me on the chats. Okay, I will clarify or address your concerns or doubts later also in the chat. Okay, if not, thank you so much everybody for coming today. Yep.